What is happening, guys? See you here, and I am back. And we are back with Leeds United. I've done a rebuild before. We won the Champions League, we won the Europa League, but in real life, after this man here took us to the great heights of the Premier League, we went and messed it up, didn't we? So now we're back in the Championship. No manager currently at the club. I'm going to take over. Let's see how we get on. Fingers crossed we're not terrible. The pride of Yorkshire, unless you live in Sheffield or anywhere else in Yorkshire, the pride of Yorkshire need to be back in that top division. Let's jump in, see how we're looking at the start, what the tactic is, and see who we need to offload. So here we are, obviously just finished against Tottenham. It's the 29th of May. The playoffs aren't right in this, so who knows who will come up instead of Leicester. But here we are, and if we look at the squad, it's just a shambles, isn't it? It's not brilliant. A lot of contracts will run out, obviously. We've let a lot of players go, but there is a lot of players here also who are on ridiculous wages. 100 grand for Rodrigo. Oh, dear me. We're going to need to get rid of some of these. Obviously, in real life, we're giving out loans left, right, and centre because we have a fetish with not making any money, which is fine. I'm not going to complain about that. This is the tactic we're going to use. If you look down below, I'll link to the test we did on this. It's a very, very good tactic. It should do us wonders in this division. But let's jump straight into it and see how we got on and who we had to sign. And here we are, the end of the season, and we finished top, 1 point clear of Southampton. Norwich managing to win in the playoffs. Unfortunately, 99 points for Leicester is not enough. But as you can see, Wilfred Gnonto, top goal scorer. I've tried to keep this as realistic as possible. We'll look at the transfers. Discuss who left first of all. I mean, obviously, a lot of players will leave. So Tyler Adams, Sunderland actually went up in the playoffs, so then the Premier League. Tyler Adams went there. In real life, I think he's injured currently, so I don't think he will leave. But £25 million, I mean, I was surprised at that much for him, so I will take £25 million. Next up, Stuart Dallas. This price is completely unrealistic, but Brighton came in with it. I rejected it first because obviously Stuart Dallas will stay at our club this year. But end of the day, he wanted to leave, he kicked up a fuss, so he had to go. Helder Costa already on the conversation to leave, so is Pervada. Ilya Melier, £12 million, I think is relatively fair. He's not that much asked for, as opposed to he was maybe end of the second season. Obviously, he did a big job in keeping us up, but this season he had an absolute nightmare. So £12 million to Napoli, I will take that all day long. Alfie Mackelmont, a youngster, 49k to Wigan. Rasmus Christensen, currently going to join Roma, has actually joined Lille on here for £7 million. Junior Firpo for £6.5 million. Rodrigo went to Salernitana. I think that's a very poor club for him, but £2.5 million, which is the agreed rate we've spoken about at the moment now. Danny van der Heuvel went to Neckbrega, a goalkeeper from the youth team. Liam Cooper and Luke Ayling, two stalwarts. I like them both, right? Liam Cooper has his problems. Luke Ayling, he shouldn't be playing right back now, but he is. They're going to be going down as two legends of Leeds, so that's fine. But I do think last season they should have been completely phased out. Obviously, Liam Cooper got injured. Luke Ayling Luke Ayling played out of his socks to get ahead of Rasmus Christensen, who was absolutely terrible. So them two went to Clermont. We got £6 million altogether for them. Can't mourn too much. Mateus Bogus went to Bayer Leverkusen for 1.3 mil. Llorente, I took Olympiacos' eyes out with £7 million. He, in real life, has actually gone over to Roma with Christensen. Gelhardt, Mullen and McKinstry all on loan. And then Darko JB went to Wrexham. I do think this season he will play a vital part. I mean, as you can see, he played 3 games for us. I mean, he played 3 games for us last season. He did. 3 games in the league and he scored no goals. He did. Oh my God, why did I let him go? I am thick. What was I thinking? He did score 3 goals. Jesus Christ. But I think this is the thing, is that it was, although he's a very good player, we do need to strengthen in the midfield. We have done for years. But here is who we brought in. I mean, I'll check last year to see if... no one from last year. I mean, there's more leavers here, actually. Sorry, there's more leavers last year. Jack Harrison went to Everton for 11.25 mil. A lot cheaper than I want him to, but it looks like he will be leaving anyway. Mark Rocker went to Brighton for 20.5. Bamford also to Brighton for 20.5. Bamford, an absolute steal there because he is terrible. So... I mean, he's harsh. He's not terrible. He was injured. Obviously injured, he came back. We were asking a lot for him as he came back to perform, but he missed some absolute sitters, didn't he? Robin Cox to West Ham for £7 million. It looks like he'll be leaving on loan this season, so shocker, really. Sonny Perkins out to Derby, and then we can talk about who we brought in. The first one from Nantes, £7.75 million. 26-year-old Ludovic Blas made 36 appearances this year, scored 5 goals. Yeah, I like this guy. I watched Marseille a lot in France, and he just seems to be a half-decent player. I don't think we'll ever sign someone like that, but I can hope, can't I? Next up, we have Kieran Dowell. He came from Norwich. He hasn't played this season. I kind of only got him really as a backup for the left and right mids. I was hoping to keep Nonto, which we did eventually. Then I wanted to get a striker. Obviously, Nonto is... See, before the update, Nonto wasn't that good, but now he's an absolute diamond. So, Joe Perreault came in, only made 2 appearances, didn't get a goal. He came in for £6.5 million, which isn't the end of the world. I'm not going to complain too much. Next up, with Robles leaving on a free and also Melier leaving, we needed at least 1 keeper, definitely 2. So Etienne Green came in, youngster. Was at St Etienne, hasn't played this season because I did bring him someone that I consider a lot better. Very, very good player. He's only going to improve. 23 years of age. He hasn't played a lot of first team football, only 23 games, but in this game he does develop very, very well. Next up, Ben Godfrey from Everton. 42 appearances, 2 goals, 7.02 average rating. We always need centre backs, so we got him in. He can also play right back, so that covers the fact that we let Luke Ayling go. £13.5 million, probably a little bit expensive, but 26 years old, there's still plenty of legs left in that if we want to get some more money. Next up, someone we actually linked with today. It is the 27th of June, and we are linked with this man, Nathan Phillips from Liverpool. You can't see it, but I've got Calvin Phillips' shirt up there. I want another 23 Phillips at Leeds. 43 appearances this season, 2 goals, 3 assists, 2 player of the matches, 7.04. I think that is a steal. Obviously, he's only 20. I thought he was very young. He's not. He's 27. What is? He's not young. He's very old. So he's went £3.8 million. He came in. I'm very happy with that. Next up, the man we should have signed last season, John Swift from West Brom. 45 appearances, 2 goals and 20 assists. Somehow only a 6.99 average rating. But this is the man we should have got on a free last season. West Brom must have been paying mental wages and they got him instead. Okay. Albon Lafont. This guy, I don't know how we signed him, but he was actually on the transfer list. So they signed him for £6.5 million for Fiorentina. We signed him £6.5 million and he comes in 33 conceded out of 46 games, 27 clean sheets and a 7.10 average rating. But let's have a look at what that does to the squad. So let's have a better look. We look from position to position. So we have the 2 we brought in goal. So I'm going to clear this because it's going to do my head in. We have the 2 we brought in goal in Lafont and Etienne Green. We have Larson there. He was in the youth. I don't think he's good enough for this level. He's definitely not for the Premier League. Then the main defenders we have Charlie Creswell here, who we won't have played him any this time because we actually got to keep Maximilian Vuba, which I was quite surprised at, but he's played 43 games, so Vuba must play left back. Yes, he did. So we have Vuba, we have Helder, who, I'll be honest with you, I really like Helder. 29 games, 20 years of age. He did very, very well at Rotherham this season, so I'm hoping when he comes back, he gets a bit more game time. Pascal Strike actually did stay. He's played 100 games now for us. Oh my God, 39 this season. This is what I love. We have a lot of players that can play a lot of positions. He can play all across the back line. Can't whinge at that. Cody Drama, 25 appearances he's made. He honestly, from Luton, he did so well at Luton last year. It is nice to see him come back into the fall. I think in real life he will as well. Ben Godfrey. Monteiro, he's a player we signed actually last summer. He's come in, he's played defensive mid for us really. But he's been a very, very good player. He's very young still. If you look down, Forshaw did actually stay because I needed some more midfielders. Aronson, I couldn't sell him for love nor money. Sam Greenwood made 22 appearances, so we're getting there. Dan James did manage to stay. I really like Dan James. I think he'll do a good job for us. He only played 6 times for us, but I think this is the issue. The issue is managed to keep Somerville, Sinistera, and Ruta. So we managed to keep a lot of players. The main striker though was Wilfried Nonto. Look at this, it's a joke, isn't it? 44 appearances, 37 goals, 7.3 average rating. Well, let's go to the competitions. The Carabao Cup, the 2nd round to Everton, and the 4th round of the FA Cup to Burnley. So if we go here, we'll look at the Carabao Cup first. There was a penalties, unfortunately. 94th minute own goal from Everton managed to get us into penalties, but they are the Premier League club. They managed to stay up. We didn't deserve to. And then a 3-1 win against Bristol Rovers, followed by a 1-0 loss to Burnley. Now, what I do know is that in the league, we've had some absolute... We're not in the Premier League, idiot. We've had some absolute storming results, as well as a few disappointing ones. Start the season, a 5-0 win against Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, we lose to Luton. Obviously, Luton didn't go up on this. Preston and Southampton we lose to as well. 5-0 against Norwich, which you're thinking, how have I not got sacked there? Maybe because we beat Leicester 5-0. Ipswich 3-1. And 8-0 against Plymouth. I would love that this year. Leicester, we lost 1-0. And Borough, we lost 2-0. But it was enough to let us go up. If you look at the goal scorers, really for Nonto with 37. We have Sinisterra down there with 15. Another player, actually, that I think we are going to be okay keeping him because he had a lot of injuries last year. I think it'd be hard for anyone to want to take a risk on the amount of money we'd be asking for him. John Swift, 20 assists. Ludovic Blas with 15. And also Sinisterra with 15. Are we on the average rating? That is the question. Southampton batter in the top 3 there. Sinisterra 7.3 as well as Nonto. We have Strike with 7.27 and Ludovic Blas with 7.18. But there we are, 105 points. I'm happy with that. I will take that. It won't happen this year. I think if we get playoffs, we'll be very lucky. It is, I think it's like 4 days till pre-season starts and there is nobody through the door. So, yeah. It's always Leeds. It's always us. Thanks for watching, guys. I am back now regularly. I'll get some content out there. Stay safe and I'll see you next time.